Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And I think that everyone is looking forward to seeing Drew Lock take the next step in the quarterback evolutionary process. Decision-making is something that he's working on improving because he's got plenty of arm and makes excellent off-platform throws. What he's seeking now, to be consistent in all of his processes.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They fake the handoff, now Lock. He finds his man, complete. That's Hodges.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. That was so well timed. Just a perfect throw on the slant.
Hit him on the move, didn't he? Now he's going against the grain of the defenders coming over to try and stop him. That allowed for that additional yardage downfield.
First and goal from just inside the 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Rams on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, wherever he is on the field, he is certainly slippery with the football in his hands, and he proved it right there.
And normally moves like that aren't supposed to work this deep in the red zone because there's not enough space. Normally way more effective when you're working out in the open field. But here, incredible shiftiness, excellent contact balance, and he works his way into the end zone.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spot, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. To throw it is Locke. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that's really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And one thing's for sure, that number 1 seed already been sewn up. It's a testament to how well these guys have played. They could lock up home field advantage with this many games still to go.
And you know what else you can do with this type of an advantage? You can plan for the playoffs a lot earlier, and I don't just mean in how you play guys or rest them. I'm talking about how you talk to your team going into the playoffs, because normally you have that conversation with them usually the last week of the season. Now you can have it earlier and say, all right, we know we're going to be at home for every game we play. I want you to take care of your tickets this way. I want you to handle hotels that way. All of those things can be out of the way, so when it comes time to get ready for the playoffs, that's all you're doing is preparing on the field and in the locker room.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they end up running themselves out of time.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that one will be accepted. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And they just did not get the snap away in time. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. on a delay of game there. They could not get the play off in time.
Frustrating for the head coach. Frustrating for the offense. Sometimes you have to get the play call in a little bit quicker.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game. Lock going to throw. Steps away. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
This is fielded at the 27. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man complete. That's Porter. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. And to give this time to the tailback. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll set up to throw. This is Donnell with a grab. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Going left side, and he's got Donnell. That catch good for only a couple.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Rams. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Clock now to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
You definitely would like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hodges. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that trims the lead down to 9. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. The Eagles will not finish above 500 this year, but 8-9 is still within reach as they pick up victory number 5. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey, to check on the Giants. And they were winners in their ball game as they beat the visiting Washington football team. The Giants will not finish at 500 this year, but 7-9 is still within reach as they pick up victory number 5. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, see what's happening with the Bengals. And they trail the visiting Ravens in that one at halftime. Lamar Jackson, a touchdown pass in that first half. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. This fielded right at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's Locke. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke being chased out left. He's got his man, it's White. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play.
Touchdown! It's complete. A big play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Second and 10. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And now White. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he goes out right around the 39. 3 yards the gain there, second down. They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Hands it off out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Third quarter of a 2-point game, a good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. So that'll back him up 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Block off of play action. Out to his left. And this is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Locke taking the snap at 1. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Play action. Now it's Locke. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. So quite the comeback here. They have erased that deficit, pushed themselves out in front now here in this fourth quarter.
But this game's kind of felt like a horse race, hasn't it, partner? Because you had the other guys run out to their big lead, but then slowly and surely, they've been creeping up and closing that gap. Now they've stuck ahead in front here late in the game. The finish line's not far away. They need their defense to finish this thing off.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
Here's 2nd and 8. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Back to throw again. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Locke. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 and the 34. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So all eyes on this Rams offense. Down on the scoreboard. 2:10 on the clock. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Under pressure, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, this game has not been short on intrigue, but that's the backbreaker right there, and it's going to put any hope of victory to bed.
Yeah, they knew they needed the touchdown, and when you have that little time remaining, they know they've got no choice except to go for broke, and that they did. But the interception, that means defeat.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Going to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. Quick hitter here. It's complete. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, it'll be a 13th win on the year, and they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside